This is Basil. Basil is a purebred Bichon Frise, and he is a regular at my salon. He is a show dog, and so when he comes in, he hasn't been shown in a while, as you can see, so he's a little bit of a mess, and he does wear a belly band. So we've got a little bit of work to do to get him ready. Now I start with my Kenshi Flash 5 clipper, and I have it on the closest setting, which is a 40 blade. And this blade is phenomenal on this clipper. It is so smooth and non-irritating to the dog's skin. So it's really nice to get into all those sensitive areas. So I start off by cleaning all the pads of his feet. And I just want to scoop out that V area. And then I push the 2 outside toes. And that really opens up the bottom of the foot. So what I do is I take my clipper and I skim all along the edges of the pads, and this will prevent me from having to actually use scissors in this area, and it keeps it nice and clean, and in my opinion, it's a lot safer than using shears on this area. Once I have his pads done, then I'm going to move on to the sanitary area. So when I do that, I switch my Flash 5 blade to the longest setting, which is like an 8 blade. So I don't want to go really super close around the rectum. I don't need that skin to be really pink and stand out. I want it to just be clean. And so I just kind of use my clipper and I go from side to side, being careful not to put the blade right on the rectum. So I'm doing this with a very gentle touch. I come up on the base of the Bichon tail about maybe 1.5 inches, sometimes even 2 inches. Because of the way the tail sits on the back, I want that back area to be nice and clean. Then when I do his belly area, when I pick up the leg, I hold the leg with the tail, and this really secures the whole back end. So if he does hop or pull or tug or anything, it keeps the whole back end a lot more secure. So I switch sides and I pick up that stifle joint and hold it with the tail. Then I stand him up to do the belly area. And as you can see with the belly band, he gets a little bit stained and a little bit irritated in that area. So I do clean that area up pretty well. And I skim along that inside flank to just kind of keep that area nice and clean. And that will help when it comes to your overall finish work. So you want to be careful not to take off any of the outside coat, but just that inside part of that flank area, you can skim right up in there. Now I just want to sanitize my blade before I move on after doing those areas. And this is the Terrier fresh oil. And it comes out like that canned air. So it sprays all the hair out between the blades, plus it lubricates and disinfects. So I give the blade a good squirt with that. The Terrier fresh oil. And now I'm switching it back to the 40 blade setting. And I'm going to do the areas around his face. So what I usually do is I do just the width of the nose underneath, so that top lip. And you can see right away how it brings out that nice dark pigment, which is what you want to see on the Bichon. It's got nice dark skin, but it's just the width of the nose, and it's with a 40 blade. This is something that I like to do to keep the ears a little bit cleaner. So I flip the ear open and I just do that little strip right in front of the ear canal. And for me, it just kind of opens up the ear canal a little bit and kind of keeps the hair away, just to make his ear a lot cleaner and neater. But you being very careful not to take off any of that cheek hair. Now I'm going to pluck his ears, and I'm using this ear powder, which all of my supplies I get through Groomer's Choice, which is a phenomenal company to deal with. So when I pluck the ear, I put a little bit of ear powder in, and I just use my fingers to just kind of twist a few hairs at a time real quick and pull them out. So ear cleaning can be very controversial, whether you pluck or not pluck. I call it weeding, So if I can't get every last hair, that's okay, but I get enough out to keep the ear canal clean and as hair-free as I can get it. So same thing on this side. If I use forceps, they're an extension of my finger, so I don't typically like to go in and grab a clump of hair and twist it all out, because I find that a lot of times that really irritates the inside, especially if it's really thick hair. But if I can't reach it with my fingers, then if I use the forceps, I do the same method. I just grab a few hairs at a time and pull straight out. And I always give them a little rub after. Now I'm drummeling his nails, which he is always really, really good about. This Dremel I have on here is that diamond bit Dremel, which is so much better than the regular paper file Dremels. The nail sits in that groove easier. This Dremel is going on like 3 years old, and it still works like a charm. So I hold the toenail really pretty tight between my thumb and my finger, and you can see how I rest my thumb holding the Dremel on my opposite thumb to kind of keep it nice and steady, and I go side to side and then up and down to get the nails back nice and smooth. You want to try to keep the nails as short as you possibly can get them, and I find by using the Dremel I very rarely make the nails bleed, but I can file them back really nice and smooth. And this Dremel does not get caught in the hair either, like the other Dremels. So it actually is a lot safer. And I get that. I bought this through Whitman, Ralph Whitman's company. I'm not sure if other places carry it, but it's a really, really good Dremel. The bit is what I got from Whitman's. The Dremel I got at, I think, Home Depot or one of those places. But this bit is phenomenal.